Hi survivors, I'm Selene Survival Goddess, and today I want to share with you how to prepare for a hurricane. First of all, attitude is everything. Stay calm, stay positive, and learn how to use your surroundings and what you have available. In any survival scenario, remember the survival rule of threes. Most people can generally go about 3 minutes without air, and up to 3 hours in extreme conditions without shelter, and up to 3 days without water, and about 30 days without food. I've read over a lot of great hurricane advisories recently. One of my favorites that I've read so far is the Red Cross Ready Hurricane Safety Checklist. I highly advise that everyone go to redcross.org and read it over. It tells you exactly what to do before a hurricane, during a hurricane, and after a hurricane. And you can also put in your zip code to see if there's an emergency shelter near you in case you end up having to evacuate. However, many hurricane advisories don't even touch on the importance of getting a respirator mask, safety goggles, and other safety gear, and also the importance of getting a portable water filtration system, such as the Sawyer mini water filter. But air should be your top priority well before thinking about bottled water or food. Hurricane winds can bring airborne dust, rocks, splinters, and other particulate matter right to your doorstep. And you really don't want that stuff getting into your nose, mouth, or lungs. I would recommend that everyone invest in a respirator mask. I recommend the 3M Cool Flow 8511 Paint and Sanding N95 certified respirator mask. What I like about this one is that it has a valve in front that lets you exhale the hot, moist air out of the mask. Generally, the more you spend on respirator masks, the better. I got this set of respirator masks from a hardware store for $6.27 for a set of 2, which is not bad. You could also use a bandana wrapped around your nose and mouth, or even a t-shirt if you have to. Anything is better than nothing during a hurricane. I would also highly recommend that everyone invest in some safety goggles. What I like about these is that they have little vents on the side to keep them from fogging up. These are the 3M Chemical Splash Impact Goggles 91252. I got them at a hardware store for $5.86 for one pair of goggles. You could even use sunglasses if that's all you have. Again, anything is better than nothing during a hurricane. If you're in the path of a hurricane, any kind of helmet is good to have close at hand too. You may not be safe even if you're indoors. If you have a military helmet, a motorcycle helmet, even a bicycle helmet, be sure and have it close at hand. Even just a hat can be better than nothing during a hurricane. Hurricanes are merciless, and you should be more concerned with safety than fashion. A concussion caused by a hurricane could very well mean game over. Your next priority should be shelter. If you have to evacuate, do your homework to know exactly how to get to an emergency shelter. If you have any friends or family out of harm's way, look up the safest route of how to get to them, and don't wait until the last minute to leave. The Red Cross website, redcross.org, has some emergency shelters listed. Just put in your zip code if you're in an affected area, and you should see some possible places to go. Some are even pet friendly. There are also some churches, schools, and campgrounds that open up their doors for hurricane victims for safe haven, so check your local listings. I would recommend that everyone invest in an emergency space blanket for each member of your household. They only cost about a couple of dollars for each blanket at outdoor recreation stores, and they reflect your body heat better than regular blankets and can even be used as tarps from the elements if necessary. Some first aid kits also have emergency space blankets included in them as well. So if you have a first aid kit, be sure and check to see if you already have one. If you have a tent and regular tarps, I would keep those close by as well. especially in a vehicle if you may have to evacuate. You never know when inclement weather is going to have you stuck on the side of the road or end up in an accident. You may end up needing to use it. And it could be hours to days before help can get to you, so be prepared for the worst. And I'll also get into more on a vehicle survival kit in another video. If you have enough time to prepare and it's been a long time since you've been camping, I'd go ahead and set up your tent in the backyard to make sure you have everything you need, such as tent poles, a mallet, and ropes. Also make sure that there's no damage to your tent from neglect, such as mildew, damage from insects, or tears. Have rain gear or a poncho for each person. They'll help to keep your body core temperature up against rain and wind. If you have to, you could even use a contractor trash bag to help protect you from the elements if necessary. Now, going back to the survival rule of threes, once you have a respirator mask and other safety gear for air covered, as well as shelter equipment such as a tent or an emergency space blanket, your next concern should be water. And it's great that a lot of people are stocking up on bottled water, but what if you run out? You don't know how long you're going to be stranded or without water. What if your city water gets shut off? I highly recommend that everyone invest in a portable water filtration system. My favorite is the Sawyer Mini water filter. I have the 2-pack here that I got for $35 at Academy Sports. You can also get the single filter for about $20 at most outdoor sports stores. If you can't find or afford a water filtration system, you can also make one yourself. Just be sure after filtering your water to boil it for at least 5 to 10 minutes before attempting to drink it. Now, there are many different ways of making your own water filter. 3 of my favorite methods are the teepee water filter, the tree bark cone water filter, and the empty plastic bottle water filter. No matter which method of making a water filter you decide to use, you would add in alternating layers of grass, sand, and charcoal. Now, keep in mind to never use charcoal for a grill, such as charcoal briquettes. You want to use certified activated charcoal or hardwood fire charcoal. Finally, food comes to attention. I would recommend having at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable foods and have a cooler ready in case you lose power to your refrigerator. I would also recommend, if you can afford a generator, get one and have backup fuel ready for it. I recommend that you keep a bug-out bag for each member of your household in your vehicle trunk at all times, containing survival gear and some emergency food. I'll go through one of my bug-out bags to show you in another video. Stock up on high-protein foods such as peanut butter, jerky, canned tuna, protein bars, dried beans, nuts, honey, edamame, canned chili, etc. Hurricanes can bring torrential rains and the risk of severe flooding. Even if you live far away from the coast, severe flooding can affect inland areas too, as we've seen with Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Matthew, Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Maria, and there may be even worse hurricanes in the future. If you have a boat, a kayak, a canoe, an inflatable raft, or even a river tube, have them ready in case of emergency. You could also build your own raft, such as the Yukon-style log raft or a redneck raft with 55-gallon drums and wooden pallets. I would also advise that you have a life jacket ready for each member of your household in case of emergency, as well as a life jacket ready for each pet. Animals can become just as fatigued as humans when treading water, especially during severe weather. Carry a hatchet or a firefighter rescue tool with you, especially one with a belt loop sheath. You may need it to help break out of a flooded house or to help people trapped in vehicles, etc. Keep a car escape, glass breaker, and seatbelt cutter tool in your middle console or your glove box compartment in case of emergency. There are also keychain versions available of the car escape tool. I recommend investing in a solar-powered inflatable lamp. They can really come in handy if you end up losing power, and they can also float. Fill up your car's gas tank if you haven't already, or make sure it's fully charged if you have an electric car. Get an oil change if you need one. Bring in anything that can be picked up by the wind, such as bicycles or lawn furniture. Also, close any windows, doors, and hurricane shutters if you have them. If you don't have hurricane shutters, you may need to board up all of your windows and doors with plywood. Also, be sure to create an evacuation plan for a worst-case scenario and share it with your family and friends. Planning and preparing can help eliminate confusion and fear during the event. During a hurricane, don't forget about your pets. Have a carrier ready for each animal and enough free space in your vehicle for each one. Make sure the carriers are not dusty and have clean blankets in them. Put collars on your pets with your last name and your phone number for the animal's safety. Also, consider getting your pet microchipped and registered if you haven't already. It provides permanent ID for your pet and can help you locate your pet if they become lost. Collars can fall off, be removed, or become impossible to read over the years. If your pet has any urgent medical issues, be sure it's listed on the animal's collar tag, or you can even use a permanent marker to write it on the animal's fur in case of emergency, such as anemic or diabetic or type A blood, etc. If you lose internet, cable, phone battery, car power, etc., it can really pay off to have an emergency weather radio. I recommend the Cato Voyager. It's solar powered, hand crank powered, and battery powered. Be sure and listen to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration radio constantly, and be sure to evacuate immediately if advised by authorities. I would also recommend that you keep a portable solar power bank with you in case of power loss. Use your phone or tablets only for emergencies to conserve power. You can help scientists and fellow survivors by downloading the free Sea Level Rise app on your smartphone or tablet, produced by Concursive. My cousin, Dr. Derek Loftis, marine biologist at the Virginia Institute of Marine Science, helped develop the app to capture global geographic mapping data to understand and solve sea level rise issues near you. You can use the Sea Level Rise app to find nearby trouble spots that will affect your travel times during inclement weather, and you can join in by adding your own data and photos to the data set. The Sea Level Rise app has won multiple awards and earned national media attention. Be sure to check out the Concursive TV YouTube channel for more info on how the app works. If you survived a hurricane or want to help hurricane victims, you can save lives by donating blood to the Red Cross. You can also donate supplies or financial assistance to the disaster relief. Remember that 90% of the Red Cross members are volunteers, so consider donating your time too. I hope that these tips will help some of you out and keep you safe and prepared. If you have any other ideas for hurricane preparation, please comment and be sure to review the Red Cross Hurricane Safety Checklist. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure and hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned. And I'll see you next time.